And we are in. Okay. So,
Okay.
Cars of Tatar was on a mission, or I suppose is on a mission, to aid a group of huts, just as a guard duty, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing too serious. Just but as you're sitting out, there's a lot of shouting from the inside of the relaxation station, which is just a space thing far up above of a planet. A lot of shouting, rushing, I suppose. And you're right outside the little, what's it called? I'm bugging right now. Outside the doors of the relaxation station, and they're screaming.
Mhm.
I suppose you just want to go inside.
Yeah,
There's not much more you can do.
I need to investigate, obviously.
Of course.
You know,
Mrs. Cars, or Mr. Cars. You
yeah.
gotta separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
So, the entire place is absolutely beautifully decorated. There is shit like absolutely everywhere. Family crests are strewn about. However, everything has just stopped. There's supposed to be dancers dancing, musicians playing, alien
Like jizz.
tunes, jizz, yeah. But all of them have stopped, and all they're in the hall right now. You can see two of the huts that you're supposed to be, protecting. Steva, who is crying quite a lot, very, very emotional, and Slew. Now, when you look at Slew, he actually he looks like he's very nervous. He's fiddling with his hands. Now, you are in the center, but there are 4 rooms. One for the mother of all of these huts, one of Slew, one of Siva, and then one for one of the huts who's suspiciously not actually in the main hall right now. Awaba. Okay.
Okay.
Awaba. Now I guess you're reign free.
Okay. First thing I do is, I can't ask Steva. She's, they're in tears. I don't know. What are their pronouns?
Steva's a she, her.
Okay. I don't want to ask Steva. She's in tears. It's hard enough communicating with these people. Don't do that. Come on now.
Sorry. Okay.
Do that. Come on now. I asked. I go up to Slew. And I ask him, "All right, what happened? What's going on?"
That is a very good. Now, trying to think. Of how I'm gonna have you do that. I'll have him roll for this. Okay. My hands absolutely shaking. I'm just dying out here. No. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Slew is a very dark brown hut. He's just lying around. You ask, what is going on, and he does not say a word. He's just playing with his fat little grubby fingers, mumbling in hut, which Tatar Cars of Tatar cannot speak.
Right.
And one thing that is of note is that he has much less lavish. His little zone is much less lavish. You can immediately pick up on than Steva's Slew's here.
Right. Okay.
You gotta taking all your notes.
I am too. You can hear it, can't you?
Go ahead.
I don't want a notepad, you know. So, okay. So, what'd you say? Like, what's going on?
So he's Slew is a much darker brown hut, and he doesn't say a word
Right.
to you. He just fiddles with
doesn't
his
say a
fingers and he mumbles in Huttese.
Right. I go like, okay. Are there other guards around here? There's other guards, right? Like I can't be the only one.
No, you're not the only one. You're not the only guard.
Okay. I I I'm assuming that the others have also gathered around all the commotion that happened, right?
There are two at the front door still.
Okay. And how many in total are there? Just those other
There's
two?
only two, three if you include
Okay.
yourself, right?
Okay. So those two are still at the front door.
Mhm.
Okay.
They're just stationed up.
Well, I don't exactly want to leave these huts alone, especially since there's apparently a murder going around. Slew is looking quite. However, Slew is getting. I demand. I demand that one of the dancers
Mhm.
goes and gets the guards over here,
Oh.
like very quickly, like hastily, like it's an emergency, basically.
Okay. Now this is good. How would I roll for you to ask him? Well, how are you trying to ask? Like, what do you say?
I'm like, you there? Go get the guards.
Okay.
Like, right now, or or it'll be your head next. Come on now.
Oh,
Right?
okay. That's a
And that's
threat.
just the facts. That's just the
That's a
facts.
that's a
That's a threat. You could call it that, but those are just the facts.
Okay. What would that mean? Would that be intimidation?
I guess that would be.
I. Th-
I mean, you could argue it's a bit of a bluff, but this can be the same sometimes.
well, will you? They are similar. Will you kick its ass?
Will I kick its ass?
Mhm.
Well, there's no point in doing that. Like, no one gains anything from me kicking its ass, aside
Right.
from it thinking I will. Right? It will do what I ask it.
Now, thing is, if you ask, okay, sorry, if you were to ask a slave to do the thing, right, to go up to one of the guards, only one person here actually has like slaves around them, and that is Steva, the one who's like crying, you know.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
you what are you telling the slave to do? Sorry, I'm like,
I need her to go and get. It doesn't even need to be a slave, but that's
yes,
my
the first
my
like
choice.
little, dancer.
I go get one of the guards. Which is the first person I saw. Go get the guards at the front gate. It is vitally important. Everyone's lives could be at stake here.
Mhm. I would say you should roll for just bluff. Just bluff the little creature.
Yeah, so I'm like threatening. I'm threatening it a little bit. Okay, let me take a look. So, how do you roll a bluff?
Rolling bluff. I believe that would be a D20 modified. Your charisma is -1, but you have 2 ranks, which should mean you would do roll a D20 plus 1. Like it's a 20 and then you would do a +1 after. I think that's how that should work.
Right. Hold on. Okay. Oh, 1d20 and +1.
So
Right.
you would just roll the D20 and then
Yeah. I'm just looking at. Do we still use the same bot as way
Yeah.
before?
I believe so. I believe you can just.
Okay. Should have tested this out before.
that would probably been smarter, but it's.
I don't know why I did that in gaming. That was a bit of a mistake. Also, I don't think it worked.
Okay.
Here, I'll just look up a dice roller online.
It's fine. It's fine.
3d20 plus 1. Roll. I got 15.
You got a
14 plus 1.
A 15? Okay.
Yeah.
And if I know how skill works, yeah, you're good. You're yes. Okay. And then the little itsy bitsy slave, dancer slave, goes over. You can see it struggling to communicate with the guard because it doesn't speak very well. Too basic, but guard kind of gets the gist, and he comes over, and he just kind of looks at you, like he's furrowing his brow, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he says,
I say to him, there was some kind of commotion here. I've asked the huts. I've asked Slew what has happened, and they're all clamming up. They seem nervous. I think something terrible has happened. I need you to watch him.
Watch him. Okay. Yeah, fella guard. He says to you that he's perfectly fine doing that, right? He can.
Okay.
But he will stand next to the door where he's been asked to be posted, but he'll make sure to keep a better eye on Slew if you do truly find him to be, mischievous.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you.
So there's 4 other rooms. You've talked to Slew, a guard, and a little slave dancer girl.
Okay. I need to. Is there a protocol droid around here that can translate?
Not one that you can immediately see.
Okay. Now, before the guard goes back to his post, I ask him quickly if there is one around here, so I can to gather information a bit better about what the fuck happened.
Let me wait. Give me a second. It's my job. It's not my job to.
Okay.
It's not my job to. It's not my. He says, "It's not my job to help you," and then he just goes back. He really.
It's your job to fucking help the huts, you dumbass. Something one of them's missing and everything. Come on now. Do you want to lose your job, you fucking dumbass?
Do you say this?
Yeah.
Oh no. Really? Do you want to lose your job, you fucking dumbass? Okay, that's not what I expected you to do at all. Really? Okay. Let's see.
Your heart sunk as soon as I said
how
that.
would you go about doing that? Oh no. What? Yeah, it's a roll, but I don't know for what. Oh, Min saying just roll. Never mind. That's completely unrelated.
So roll. That's like.
What?
Wow, that was a nat 20. Let me look at what This is why we do these little one shot.
That is. I rolled for being Africa.
I think that might just straight up be a.
Well, no. Min did it for you. I'm not letting it happen. No, but what would we?
I rolled for being epic. Okay.
What would that skill be? Then you're.
It's not really intimidation.
It's not a really.
It's more like persuasion. That's really more of a persuasion.
It could just be a sheer charisma check.
Because he could just be like, what do you call it?
It does.
Just. No, I don't think it's intimidation because he I just kind of.
It's kind of trying to reason with him, if anything.
Yeah.
It's not like you're intimidating.
Yeah, I'm not intimidating. I'm not threatening his job. I'm just telling him the facts of the matter. If one of your fucking bosses dies while you're guarding him, you're gonna lose your fucking head probably. I should have said that. I can't take that back.
No, so it's so. Okay, so roll. Do a roll, Mars, for. I'll say that would be a persuasion
Mm-hmm.
because you're trying to reason. That's what the goal is.
Yeah, I'm trying to reason with them just to like help me out here. There's no one. Okay. Persuasion. I can fucking hardly see.
Diplomacy, then, I guess. I think that would be a diplomacy skill. Okay.
Okay. So I have a -1 on that then. So that's a D20 -1.
I'm rubbing my evil little fingers together.
I got a 19 -1.
A 19, 18? Fuck.
Yeah.
What?
Make it an 18.
Let me mute myself so I can. I'm like so embarrassed my voice is gonna crack when I try to do it. Hello. It's not my job.
More than 6, my favorite.
So, this very large, guard in just normal, what's it called, like battle armor. He turns around. He's like walking away, and you say your little line, and he turns around. He looks at you, and he goes, "What's your name, kid?"
Nice. And I ask him. My only response is like, "What the? What does that matter? That doesn't matter. There's like
just give me your name."
Cars.
Cars?
It's cars.
You're gonna go far in this business, Cars. Believe me. And then you see him, and he just walks over to Slew, and and you can see Slew is kind of like stressed about this. He's like, the fuck? He gets like kind of all squirmish, playing with his fingers. And then you can see they have some sort of discussion, but they're talking at like inside voice volume, so you can't quite tell. And then he's stationed next to him with his. All is fine there.
Okay. Okay. Great. +1 to confidence. Stat.
I can't believe it.
Cars throughout his entire existence has been very lucky.
I did not assume that what your plan was.
We can discuss what you thought I would do later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Slew's under a watchful eye that I hopefully can trust.
Yes.
I'm not too confident in him, but it's better than no one at all looking at him. Now, this doesn't solve what I actually wanted, which was a protocol droid or some other translator. Which actually. Hold on. I go and ask the guard, in my own little inside voice, what the fuck did you just talk to him about? I need to know. This is like deadly important. I could, come on now.
You're so on this guy's case.
Well, it's important. It's just important.
The guard explains to you. He's got like a bit of a smirk on his face now, right?
Yeah.
But he just explains. He was explaining that he decided that this is where he needed to be posted for top security reasons because Slew seemed awfully worried.
Slew seems awfully worried, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can you repeat what you said? Like the whole thing?
He says with a smirk on his face, oh, it's fine, really, trust me. I just explained to him that I decided I should be stationed here for the top security reasons.
Okay.
And that,
Okay, and Slew looks quite nervous.
Because Slew seemed nervous, so he just intuitively was like, I'm here. Don't worry, man.
Okay. Thank you for repeating. How I am. Okay. Well, at least that's taken care of. Okay, I go. I ju- Now all I need to do is just kind of survey the area,
Mhm.
right? Like just take a quick like a look around, really, just to kind of look at what happened. I mean, no, I should go talk to Steva first. I should go talk to Steva first. I
Okay.
go into
You go up to
in
like
a
her like little area in the main
yeah,
hall.
I go into her little place. Yeah.
Now, as you're going up, you notice that she's got just a like a cacophony of slaves around her. Right? They all have their own like little specialization. Right?
Mhm.
But none of them are doing it now. Right there. Uh,
Mhm.
and she's bawling her eyes out and everything. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right.
That's
Okay. Now I just talked to the slaves as like a whole. You know, do any of you speak both basic and Huttese? I ask them.
um. Okay. That's what you're.
You know,
Okay. Okay.
apparently I can't get a protocol droid around here, so this is second best. You
This is
know,
like not. You're like. This is when I expect it to occur.
you are. I don't know what you would expect. What did you want me to do? Shoot
It's
her?
just no. I didn't. No. It wasn't definitely wasn't expecting that. That's like the last thing I wanted. It's just.
It would have been funny though.
Um. I'm going to. I don't think you have to roll for that. You're just asking them. Uh.
Yeah.
Uh. Now, none of them respond at all, but they like they all look at you as you're like trying to talk to them, right? They kind of like
Mhm.
get more withdrawn and kind of like try to cower almost behind the Mrs. Steva, right, the big fat hut.
Mhm.
And Steva like takes her fat little pudgy hands away from her eyes, and she like looks at you and you know still doing the sad, just awful
Yeah.
voice. You know,
Clearly,
are you a guard?
I say yes, yes. Your greatness. I need to know what happened. What has made you so upset? What has made Slew so anxious?
Mhm.
I must know what happened, so I can so
Yes.
maybe it doesn't happen. Right? Doesn't
Right.
happen again. Whatever did
Um,
happen.
you don't even know what occurred, and you're like, I must stop this so it doesn't happen again. The woman's like,
Well,
okay,
the Huts don't cry.
that's true. Huts don't cry.
Huts
So
don't cry. Hashtag Huts don't cry.
let's now I will have. Where is it? Uh, so I'm gonna do a plus 4. Kind of like you're laughing at me.
No, I'm just like happy, you know.
Okay. Um. Repeat. Okay. So you wanted to but what happened so it doesn't happen again? Oh shit. So she she says, oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Um. My mother, the leader of the clan, she's been murdered, brutally murdered in her quarters, and you know, and the reason why that bastard, Slew, isn't saying anything is because he probably did it. He probably did it. That bastard. He was always the worst in the family. That's what this little gem says.
So okay, this is now we actually know what the fuck happened. Thank God.
Mhm.
I don't say that obviously, but you know.
Mhm.
I say, okay. Is there anything about the incident that you can tell me, Your Greatness, so I can gather evidence to make sure that whoever done it has faces their fate, as it were. Any details?
Um, I'll give, I'll Let me think about that. Any details? I'm like racking my brain's not too large anymore. So how am I gonna go about that? Any details? So still, she's bawling. She says, "Oh, all I know is that the whole clan's in a mess. The whole clan's in a mess now. They're probably both in on it. She was crying and Slew over there. You probably haven't even spoken to him yet, but he refuses to even speak to me, his own sister. And Awaba, he's not even left. He doesn't even mourn for the person who got all of his money for him, who birthed him. Just bawling at this.
Right.
This
Yeah.
info. He has her whole demeanor. She's she can't say much. It seems, right?
Right.
She every time she speaks, she's basically
Right.
just is in immense distress.
Okay. I think the great Steva Hut, the great Steva the Hut, with gracing me with her presence, and then I bid adieu and leave to do further investigation.
She actually, as you're going, she tries to thank you, right?
Mm-hmm.
She what she says is she just goes, "Oh, you are such a, great man, right? You do your species much grace."
Okay. I thank her very much, so very, very much. And I vowed that I will catch, the devilish fiend that did this,
Mm-hmm.
and then I leave.
Okay.
Okay.
So, quick reminder: you have spoken to Steva and Slew.
Mhm.
There are 4 quarters that are not just the main hall. 4 quarters, and you have not yet spoken to Awaba, the other living hut here.
Okay.
That's it.
Right. I need to know about Awaba. He wasn't even present at the big commotion. The other thing I want to know: are there security cameras at all?
Are
Any
there s-
security implements around?
That's a wisdom check. That's a wisdom check, man.
That would be. I would think that's a perception check.
That is what wisdom is, man.
Misa forgets sometimes. Can I just roll a wisdom check to see if
Yeah, that'd be a 20. D20.
a D20 and what is my wisdom modifier? It is +2. Okay, a D20 +2.
You're pretty wise, so
Ooh, rolled a 9. That makes it 11.
a 9.
That makes it 11 though. So
Yes,
I'm at
that would
11.
make it 11. Um, so when Datar is looking up at the ceiling and everything, there's a lot of things, right?
Mhm.
There's just a lot of things in general in here. A lot of odd, lights coming down from the ceiling, artifacts
Mhm.
and stolen things in general. But one Rhodian head does have 2 little cameras in its eyes. That is what you can notice for certain.
Okay, so there are definitely cameras within the premises. I don't know if it's attached to a security system. I don't know what's what.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there are cameras, hidden cameras no less, within the premises. Okay. Now is there a security room that the cameras might feed into, right?
Now,
within the station,
that
or no?
itself is just, hard to tell. What you can tell is at least not in the main hall,
Okay. Okay. So that might be for a different time, you know.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. We all know who a Rhodian is. Come on
I
now.
think Min
Maybe
does.
Min doesn't know.
That's
Min doesn't know what a
I put
doesn't know
posted
anything that is the hut.
Right.
She's, you know.
Yes.
So okay. So my next course of action, I'll keep that in mind. Or there are definitely cameras in here, around here.
Mm.
My next course of action is obviously to go to Awaba, the hut.
Okay.
So
Awaba is in his own quarters right now during all of this, right? And
Right.
you can clearly see which one it is because while all of the other quarters are, silent, his is still kind of partying. There's still like lights coming from it, and you can hear, general oddities coming from that room.
Right.
So, coming up, there are still dancers. There's little small aliens kind of hitting their drums, and
Yeah.
Awaba is sitting on a big little throne, just having a how do you say that name?
I'm like ahead of the puff.
He's not actually having a head of a puff. An Askajan, woman is just feeding him grapes, and while there is a lot of smoke, overhead from probably drugs and such, and as soon as he catches sight of you, his happy demeanor just completely vanishes. He looks not even like he's mad, just like annoyed.
He's just like, oh,
Yeah.
It's you,
Yeah.
Okay, I cautiously. It's a party. It's a little crowded, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna be a little loud, so I'm gonna cautiously, approach the great hut, and from then on, I do a little bit of I do a little interrogating.
So you come up and that would be
As best I can, or at least I do. In fact, I actually started with in informing instead of interrogating. I cautiously go up to the great hut. He just kind of. I'm assuming he's just kind of staring at me this whole time. That's what I'm
just looking at you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell him, "Oh, great hut. There, this I am sorry to, interrupt your festivities. But there has been a security breach within the premises. There was already, your life is in danger. And that's all I tell him.
So you tell him that, and while your life is in danger, there's been a security breach. He looks over at you with a big frumpy hut face, slowly turns it over to, this to a little slave, who, it looks at him and he runs over, opens the box, and lifts out a protocol droid, who, the little alien repeats the phrase to it, and then the robot then repeats the phrase to Awaba, but in Huttese, and he then goes, "Block the foga blah," and this beautiful little pristine droid looks at you and goes, "My master tells you to get out."
I tell the droid, listen. It will tell your fucking dumbass master. I don't say that. I take that back instantly. That's what I'm thinking. I say, we'll tell your master that, like, if he doesn't, like, hold on, let me sit here and think for a second. My master tells you to get out. I just tell the protocol droid. We'll just tell him that. Just tell him that. Just not really much of a choice in the matter. There's not really a choice. You have no choice to shut this down. The whole place is going under lockdown. Like, there's been a murder. Come on now.
You know, droid. It looks at you. It nods its head. You know, moves its little robot arms. Looks up. Says the phrase back to the hut.
Yeah.
Who you can see Awaba's eyes roll very deep into his head. His fat, slug tongue grease the lips of his mouth. Go, Oblakta Frabalaga. And the droid goes, sorry, sir, but you really must understand. He is not in the mood for this. He may be a little rude, but, instead of bothering him, please just bother me. I don't want to be turned into a cube, basically.
All right. Well, okay, fine. I just talked to the droid directly, like then, just to the droid. Then I say, okay, well, listen. Have you been shut off this whole time? You've taken out of a box, weren't you? What's up with that? Were you shut off this whole time? Do you not even know what the fuck's going on here? Are you set up to the security systems or anything in this place? No.
Okay. Well, it's a droid, so I'm curious. Does a droid, do they dream of electric sheep? Does it can it get the protocol droids do they're thinking, right?
They're thinking. Every droid can think.
Okay, so that does mean
even a gonk can get tortured. It knows it's getting tortured, and it's wow.
So would that be a diplomacy check on the droid?
That'd be. I think that would just
I think that might just be a.
I think those kind of checks only kind of come when the fucking thing has something to gain out of not telling me. What does it have to gain?
Well, he's a little droid, right? And
yeah,
he obviously is pretty afraid of his master here. So I think he might have I think at least in this droid's brain it's a life or death kind of thing. He doesn't want to get hurt.
Okay.
That's why I think you're gonna have to just do a charisma. I think charisma makes more sense than diplomacy.
I think a charisma. I feel if the dominant drive is fear, that's intimidation. Well, I'm not intimidating him though. I mean, he can get intimidated. I guess he can be.
No, because Awaba is the one intimidating him. If
if
Mars said, "I'll hurt you more than Awaba," that would be intimidation. If Mars says, "Awaba won't hurt you," that would not be.
Yeah. I just told him that listen, for it's in both of our interests. You just gotta tell me everything you know. Unless you I don't want my head cut off, and you don't want to be turned into a cube. We're we got solidarity here. Okay, so that's just a charisma check, right?
I think that would it's just a charisma check.
Okay. So there's just a D20 -1, right?
Yeah. So you'll probably just pass through with flying colors here.
Oh, 2.
Okay, well that's actually a 1.
A 3 -1.
Oh, a 3 -1, so you got a 2. Okay, well I really didn't expect that number to be better.
Me neither.
Two. Yes. So the protocol droid, it looks at you. You look at it, and it moves its arms a little, and then just it leans over. It powers off. It just shuts itself down.
It just powers off?
It shuts itself down. Now, this, you this happens in direct, eyesight of Awaba, who just yells. He just screams, right? In the most
Okay.
hut scream,
Okay.
slamming his pudgy thing. He knocks over, like whatever shit he was drinking, and it's all over the floor.
Okay.
I'll let you.
Okay. Okay. Now this is all gonna be within a few seconds. Let me see if I can even do this.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's within my character's skill set. Actually, nah, it's not within my character's skill set. Plus, I think it's a little unrealistic. What I wanted to do was just see if I could really quickly just grab like a memory chip or some shit out of that fucking droid's dumbass head before like skedaddling. But I don't think that's
Dude, like a little like Scooby Doo run.
yeah. Like Cars doesn't have that knowledge.
No,
like at all.
Not a technician.
Not a technician. Just doesn't know that much about how droids work on a fundamental level, right? So
I'll
I'd be able to just
I'll
grab,
level
like-
with you here. That's fine. It's fine that this happened. There's like fail safes.
Yeah, I understand. I still wanted to see if I could like
Yeah.
make the best of a bad situation. I just scram. I just
You
scram.
just run out of there. Yeah, that's
just get out of there.
That's
before things get
perfectly
bad.
fine. As you
Yeah.
leave the doors to this place, just slamming on each other, and
Right.
then back in the main hall, and
Okay.
Steva seems to be. She's crying, much less now. She seems like she's just,
A lot calmer.
not
Just
calm.
calm down a bit. Okay. Now, before I go back to Steva, sorry for the spice, down in the mines. It sticks with you. Yeah. Before I go back to Steva, what I want to do is go into the actual the Mama Hut's room.
Okay. Phenomenal. So you're okay. That's great. Thank you.
You've been waiting for that the whole
So you
time.
go up, and you can see, big little letters. It's Billy. And as you enter, this place smells fucking horrendous, right? There's also a lot of spice, so it's a little difficult to tell if the smell is just from the fat hut body that's just strewn about on the floor, or from the various spices. Now, you are going to do a wisdom check now, because you are going to be trying to notice. This is immediate. What do you notice about the room?
Okay. Sorry, hold on. This is a +2 roll. Okay, I got 13 and +2. That's 15. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yes, that's great. Actually, that's just perfect. Okay, so Billy has a lot of slash marks in her body. Very long, right? Very, very long, and it seems like to happen once, twice, and incredibly sloppy. There's spice strewn all around her. It's just absolutely everywhere. But upon looking closer into these slashes, you can notice they're not just normal, but they're obviously vibro weapons. It's been, real gotten in there. Now, around, the floor, while you're checking for the spice and any weapons, you notice a lot of screws just around this, the floor.
Really?
And let's see. Now, yeah, again, a lot of there's shit knocked over absolutely everywhere. Whoever killed this hut, if the hut could move at a reasonable pace it probably could have escaped, right? Sadly,
Right.
this was a very fat one. And
under the influence of spice, very likely, no less.
mhm.
So,
And there is, well, delving a little deeper, you can notice that there's actually some sort of thing Beely must have written in a like on a shelf next to some foreign alien head and some sort of trinket. Sadly, however, it is in Huddy's.
okay.
Now, very quickly, lot of slashes, room is all fucked up, spice everywhere, screws are on the ground, and you now have a little, what do you call it? I'll just call it like a ledger from this hut.
Okay. So Hutty's ledger, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I just confiscate the ledger, for now.
Now, you
my
can,
ne-
if you want to look, you can try to look deeper into any one of the info pieces I gave you.
I know.
I'm just
Well, the first thing I want to do is look around the room for a vent or an access panel or something like that, because the screws, right?
So while looking
Good.
around for these, vents, holy shit, you're actually a genius. I'm sorry, I'm in love with you. There is a vent which is just fucking loose, right? That shit is incredibly suspect. Yeah, just incredibly loose vent. It's a little higher up, right? But all you need to do is to get on top of a
Yeah,
kind of like
I
a
gotta
nightstand type thing. Just
Yeah, I got good climb skill.
you don't have to climb.
So-
I mean, you just have to
I can
on
just
top.
yeah, whatever. So now before I go through with that, real quick, I did want to look a little deeper into the spice. I wanted to look deeper into the spice because I know spice. I know my spice.
Mhm.
I've seen it raw. I've seen it processed. I can know if it's possibly been tampered with. Right?
Oh, you're trying to check if this is
Like maybe a poison or just a bad dose or whatever.
Now, I
I
do
don't.
think I'll have you. I don't know what I'll make you roll with, but it should be a positive thing.
Yeah, I have a what do you call it? I have just a spice trade knowledge.
Oh shit! That's phenomenal. Yeah, roll that. Roll that.
Okay, let me see what I have in that. Fuck, it's so hard to see sometimes. Knowledge spice trade. I got +2, and that is a int. So that is okay. It's just a d20 +2.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I got 15 into 17.
15 into something. Yeah. No, this spice is seemingly clean. What is interesting is that this is, however, a specific kind of spice, right?
Right.
They seem to specialize in this, whatever this, quite is, and it's, although for poison, no, it all you can tell is that it's completely fine, completely clean.
Okay. Okay. That was worth checking out. I doubt I'll be able to use knowledge spice trade all that often, but it's good. It's cool to use it when I can.
Yeah.
Okay. I just go in. I make sure I keep the ledger on me. And I go through the vent to see where it leads, to see where they might have. Because this is obviously they didn't fucking come in through the vent. I hope not, or rather they didn't leave. Like they just came in through the front door and then left through the vent. That'd be silly,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that'd be, so.
That'd be silly. So I just go through the vent to see where they might have
Well,
come
well,
from.
well. The problem is that you open up the vent, and what you notice is a Gungan male holding a vibro whip and just completely goes spastic and start like bumping all of the walls, like, or not vent, but ventilation thing, just bing 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 bing, bing, screaming. Ah! Ah! Misa just got up. Misa just got up. Please, please. Just
It has the vibro whip too and everything.
it just in hand, yeah.
I demand it. I demand it disarm itself, or I will disarm it for him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an intimidation. Come on now.
Yeah. Roll intimidation,
What
and
is like intimidation?
it's fine because this Gungan is going to. I think. No,
It's like a
it'll be fine.
tutorial. It's a tutorial boss.
Yeah.
If this is who I think it is. Fuck. God, I can hardly see. I gotta open up the proper cars.
I think you're. It's okay. I'm a
File.
20/20.
Just to get a better look. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Intimidate. Okay, it's just a -1. I don't know why I threw so much effort.
-1 intimidation. Okay.
Yep. I got a 17 into 16.
Okay. Yeah, completely fine. You disarm itself, or you'll disarm it for it. Okay. Gungan still just screaming, Misa just caught up. Misa just caught up. You leave me be. It throws the whip at you. It's not activated, so that all that really does is just kind of like, ouch. It's not activated or anything. It's just like thrown haphazardly, and the Gungan then gets up in a fetal position, puts its and it says, just he goes, just let Misa go, just let Misa go.
I demanded to tell me what the fuck it's doing here. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you in the fence? Why do you have the vibro whip? On the scene of a fucking crime, You better tell me now, or
Misa, just promise freedom. Misa, just promise freedom. Just has to do one thing. Just please let Misa go. You said not working with the Hutts, are you?
I promise freedom by who? That's all I say.
Misa not so good with names. Misa don't.
Just describe them. Come on now. You're good with eyes, aren't you?
You said not with the Hutts, are you? What happens to me if I say?
It depends on how much I like your answer. I'm not gonna lie to the poor creature,
The Gungan. It says it was it says that it was a woman hut. He says it's a woman hut, and he just wants you to leave him alone. Really. He just wants you to leave him alone.
Okay. I need you to come with me. I won't hurt you. I can promise you that much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you wouldn't lie to me, especially at the bad end of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You seem harmless enough, I guess. I mean, that's not really true, but at least to me. You need to just come with me. We need to go see someone together, okay?
Okay, so you drag this poor little Gungan by his scruff.
No, I drag him by his arm. Come on now, I get by his scruff.
And I assume you're going up to Stiva.
I am. We are going up to Slough.
Oh, Slough.
Going up to Slough.
Mm-hmm.
And and I want to base this entirely off of how Slew reacts when I fucking drag this guy in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Steve is a bit of a drama. Come on now,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
She's been pointing fingers too,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, Slew's still been a bit being a little conspicuous. So just this is just like, you know, to put my mind at ease
So
here.
you're walking out and you're dragging this Gungan and you're kind of just going up to Slew, and
Right.
Slew, he looks at you. He gets these huge eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Slew just starts trying to shimmy away, right? He's like his dragging his big fat body, getting closer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the guard points a gun at him and goes, you can see it, hey,
Stop right there.
stop right there. And, he just
Yeah.
puts his fat little pudgy arms up, and you bring the Gungan in front of him, I suppose.
Yeah. I like. Yeah. No, I ask. The great, the great Slew. You know, who do you have any relation to this Gungan? And just
No.
ask him straight up. You know.
Yeah. Slew, he's like. Now, can you do a wisdom check for me?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I'll do. Yeah. Sure. Oh wow, nat 20.
Okay, great. The thing is, he's on spice. You can look at him, and now that his eyes and like his whole face is really showing,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
you know?
he's not really in it.
He's not in it. Yeah.
And he opens his mouth, right, to like speak, and no words come out, right? And
Okay.
he just he kind of looks at you a little bit funky, right? Like he doesn't know what's going on quite. And
Mm-hmm.
kind of if you've ever like asked a small child a question and they don't know the answer, and so they just try to see if they get it right by your facial expressions, and he slowly, does his head yes. Goes, uh-huh. Raises one eyebrow.
I ask him. Like, how do you know this Gunga? Through what means, right?
Friend.
Friend. Oh, that's interesting. When was the? I must ask him. When was the last time you've seen the Gungan? You know, before now, obviously.
Now he he's got his big face, and he looks over at he looks over at the little Gungan, and he goes, "Bleeda," and and the little Gungan goes, he's give me spice sometime.
Okay. Well, he's fucking harmless. Okay. He's basically harmless. He wouldn't. Yeah. He's never offered you anything else. I ask Lita. Nothing like freedom, you know.
He says the only other thing he's offered him was like not necessarily, how does he say it? He goes, he said never give freedom, but we said sometime go on break.
Okay. You know, I don't even mind all that. Okay. I told the guard to just escort Slew back to his quarters, and then, make come with me to confront fucking what's her name?
Her name is
Steva.
Yes.
Right, Steva. Stiva about Blita, since Blita has basically confessed that a female hut offered freedom in exchange for killing Beely.
Yes, Beely. Um,
Slew's no, that was a Wubba.
Awaba partying. Slew was the one at the very beginning who was just like, did not say a damn word.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because
He's just been tweaked though. Yeah.
so, so you bring this little. What do you say again? Sorry, because I said asking a question.
I tell the guard, buddy, you need to just escort this man back to the room. He's like he's tweaked the fuck out on spice.
Mhm.
He's harmless, you know.
Yeah.
That only really, Awaba is just kind of a fucking Awaba. That was a dead end. It can only really be Stiva,
Mhm.
and he's like, well, I don't know what he's like. You know what he's like.
Yeah.
Though.
And so, uh, let me roll a fun little.
Oh no, I thought I already earned this man's trust. Come on now.
Oh no. So she, as soon as you bring this little gungo fellow, right?
Mm-hmm.
She screams and says, and she's yelling at you, saying that you're the worst. You're an embarrassment. Interspliced with some Huddies like phrasing, so mad, speaking in native tongue, and
Right.
and that this little that this Gungan has nothing to do with her. It's just a complete. That's its own thing.
Right.
Awaba, it's probably Awaba's slave. All of her
Right.
slaves. She has no Gungan slaves. She doesn't like Gungans.
Right. Oh shit! I forgot about the ledger. Hold on. That's so silly of me. Well, whatever. That ship is a little sailed by now.
Mhm.
I did bring the guard with me. Yes.
The guard is he's still like stationed with the.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I can live with that. I made a couple of mistakes on the way here, and I just say to her, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I know. That was on purpose. Like,
Yeah, I know.
ironically,
I know. That was
I
on
just
purpose.
come out and say that. You didn't say anything. Let's do a. Okay, so you look at her, and her eyes are on like fucking fire. Right there's like she's enraged at you now, and she just yells, "Gods!" And they fucking like the
All
two
two
guys,
of them.
all two of them come up. They kind of their hands are like really steady on their gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they immediately like look at you, and she goes, this pitiful excuse for a human is currently trying to threaten me with blackmail, saying that one of my slaves has scandalous information about me. You two, be exemplars of your race and get him
Execute.
not execute.
Execute him now.
No, but get him out of my sight now. And now, I guess I'll let you try to.
Okay. Well, I just, I was hoping I built a bit of a bond with Buddy over here, at least guard number one, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah, guard number one.
I think, maybe I've earned his respect, at least enough for him to, and he's been helping me out with this whole thing, this whole time to maybe realize that this is kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna try and placate off that. I'm just gonna be like, dude, come on.
You're gonna say
That's
dude,
all.
come
That's
on?
basically all I say. Dude, come on.
Mm, dude, come on. This dude, he looks at you, right? And he looks at you. He looks over at the other guard, and he goes, "This is Cars. Come on. I know him. We go way back. He would never do this."
Okay.
And he looks back at guard number one. He looks back at you, and he goes, what seems to be the problem between you two?
Oh, he asked me that.
Yeah, you.
And I tell him, well, this Gungan here basically confessed to having a female hut, like a female hut, like would grant him his freedom in exchange for killing Beely. That's
Right.
basically what I've gathered. And as you all know, there's only 2 female huts on this ship, one of which is Beely. So just kind of put the dots together.
And
especially since she freaked out like this, just all come on, it's
right.
pretty obvious who done it now. Now we just got to figure out what to do.
Right. He looks at you. He's got the signature guard one smirk, right? And he goes, don't worry. Awaba hired us, not her.
Okay. Yeah.
Name's Marcus, by the way. I think you've got the situation, and I think you've done your detective work. You can go home. Come with us, miss. Oh, no, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. He's like crying. He's got the little guns pointed at her, and I think you can just go. I think you've done your mission.
So that's it. Where's my money?
Is your money?
Yeah.
I actually, the 3 of you were hired by
That's true.
Mr. Awaba. So I think if you want, you can.
I mean, at least the 2 of them were.
The
I don't
2
know.
of you are.
I feel like I would have been hired by another one, because I feel like Awaga would have,
Yes.
maybe paid a little bit more attention to me. If one of the people he's hired to keep him safe was like, dude, there's a security breach, you're gonna die. But, maybe it was like, coked out on grapes or something.
If you don't want to ask him for money, you can just leave and say you're done.
Well, I got that manifest,
Mm-hmm.
No, here's what I do.
Okay.
Here's what I do. I look around. I just go back to Beely's little cabin. There's all that spice.
Mm-hmm.
There's no harm in taking some.
Just keeping it all for yourself.
Not all of it, just enough that no one would notice that some of it's gone,
Mm-hmm.
and enough to give me a little tidy profit.
Right. Okay. You leave with what would be like
Let's say like
an X of spice? What would you take? Like a can?
let's say let's just put it into pounds. How much? Fuck, you gotta know how much spice is.
Well, I
It
assume
doesn't matter how much it's worth per pound. Let's just say I take 10 kilograms.
10 kilos of spice.
That's a healthy amount, I think.
Right. Taking 10
And-
kilos of spice. You solve the murder. Waba's men. Got it all.
Yeah, they get a lot of the credit. Maybe I get a little fame within the bounty hunter, whatever the fuck,
the bounty hunter fandom, and
the bounty hunter fandom, and I make away like a bandit to my fucking X1 carbon or whatever the fuck.
your ship. Okay,
Yeah,
we did it.